All right, welcome back to the Equations of Circles, Chapter 10, Section 8. Today we're going to talk about the equation of a circle, obviously, and the circle is the locus, or I'd rather say the set of points in a plane equal distance from a given point, kind of the definition of a circle in the first place. So we're going to look at the equation of it right away. And the equation of a circle, and you'll see this a lot in Algebra 2 where we deal with a h and a k, where the h value just deals with the x and the k deals with the y value of it. So that's our coordinate of what we're looking for, the center of the circle. So the equation is actually x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, and then equals the radius squared. So that's what we're going to work with today, and we're going to use the h and k to either write the equation or it's actually going to give us the center of the circle. So that's what we're going to look for in some problems that are coming up today. So the first one here is we want to write the equation of a circle that center is at negative 2, 4. Now remember, this is h and this is k. Well, a good way to remember is if you plug this in to inside the parentheses, the negative 2 would have to make it 0. Like if I put negative 2 in for x, and if we look at this equation like this, well, if I put it negative 2 in for x, it would have to be x plus 2. And another way you can look at that is x minus a negative 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared equals the radius, which it gives us a diameter of 10. Well, then the radius would be 5. And remember, we want the radius squared, so we want radius squared. Now, we probably shouldn't leave the equation like this, so let's simplify it. The negative makes a positive, so x plus 2, as we said before, plus y minus 4 squared equals, and then 5 squared, which would be 25. So this is how the equation should be written. All right. The next circle has a center of 5, 4. So that's nice and easy. We can set up our equation. Squared plus y, and then they're both positive, so we know we're going to get negative. So remember, if we put in 5 into this, that should give us 0, and we put 4 in over here in the y, we should get 0 over there. And then what we need to find here is the radius. Well, what is the radius? Well, this is kind of nice that they give us, if we look at a coordinate grid, we count over here 5 units and up 4. Well, 5, 4 is about there. And an ending point at negative 3, 4, which 1, 2, 3, and it's still the same height. So it's kind of nice that we really don't have to use a distance formula. It's a nice flat line. The y values don't change, so really we have to just find the difference of our x's. So what is the difference of a positive 5 to a negative 3? Well, that would be the radius would be 8. So what is 8 squared? 64. And there's the equation of that circle. Now we got to graph them. So we're going to graph the equations and what they're given to us and try to come up with what we need to know to graph it. So first of all, we need to find the center of the circle. So ask yourself, what would make this 0? Well, if I put a positive 4 in, 4 minus 4 would be 0. Put a negative 1 in, and that would make that, or a negative 1 in for the y, that's going to make that 0. So there's my center of the circle, is at 4, negative 1. And what's the radius? Well, remember, this is radius squared equals 9. So what's the radius? Well, that would just be 3. So we're going to put a coordinate grid in here. Maybe I should use something else in blue. Looking at blue on blue, kind of hard to see. So 4, negative 1 would be right there. Radius of 3. So I'm going to count out to the left. 3 spots, to the right 3 spots, down 3 units, and to the up 3 units. And then from there, I'm just going to try to estimate, try to do the best curve job I can, kind of connect point to point, and what we end up is with our circle. I'll do the next one, and you guys can pause it, and it will be done when you unpause it. So hopefully you tried that, but there's what the circle would look like. The center would be at 0, 3, and then a radius of 5. So I counted 5 to the left, 5 to the right, 5 up, 5 down, and made the best circle as I could. And then the last problem is kind of a real-life problem that we might occur, and I guess I see it, it's already on there, but we'll talk about it. Forgot to clear that screen off. So as we go here, we want to try to draw lines in between the 2 dots, and it, obviously you can kind of see that they're vertical to each other, but even if it was diagonal, we could find the distance between them. And then we could see that this is perpendicular because it's a nice horizontal line. So that works out well. Well, if we count the squares, and even though each square looks like a rectangle, it doesn't look exactly equal to each other, but if we counted, it is. So it's 5 down, 5 to the left, and 5 up. So this point would be the best point to put the tornado siren to help these 3 cities out. Okay? So what is the equation? Well, what is the coordinate of that point there? So here's 0, 0. And so it is over 5, and up 4. So my point center is at -5, 4. And what's the radius? Well, the radius is 5, which we've dealt a lot with these examples already. So the equation, x plus 5 squared plus y minus 4. Remember, it's what would make it 0. So as I put the -5 in for x, we would get 0. So that's what's reminding me to make sure that's a plus sign in there. And then radius squared, which would be 25. So there is our answer, except I forgot to square that. And there we go. Thank you.